This is John Paul Rai coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and I'm going to cover Amber Heard's Twitter account. The more I research about Johnny versus Amber Heard, the more I find out about her and the less I like her. When I first started making these videos, I didn't know so much, so I made a few videos without really insulting her and things like that, but the more I learn, the more it seems she's in the wrong, and here's going to be a little more proof. Let's take a look at why she's a hypocrite. So, here we see it, her official Twitter account. Actor and activist, semi-professional disruptor. Well, definitely a disruptor. Ice cream advocate and shameless teacup Yorkie lover. Alright, so, first of all, she's only got 143,000 followers, which really isn't that much for a star. And, you know, I'm not saying that's so bad, but she seems to act like she's the biggest star in the world. Now, it's also come to my attention that, well, I've been reminded that she doesn't actually upkeep this Twitter account herself. Most likely, it's her PR people, things like that, tweeting out for her, maybe getting her consent, checking grammar, things like that. And that also goes for Instagram. But the thing is, keep in mind, she is responsible for this account. So anything on here, you could say she has to take responsibility for. So let's keep going. Women's bodies have for too long been shamed, punished, and outright banned. No more. U.S. Nat Archives needs to immediately release all records answering for why it decided to erase women's bodies from history and who ordered it. Alright, this right here, honestly, isn't so bad. But then again, I'm not sure like exactly what she's talking about. It might have been better to be specific. But let's move on. So this is something that she retweeted that someone else tweeted. In the South, we end violence against women really fast. We kick the shit out of men who raise hands against ladies. I'm not admitting to anything, but alligators and snapping turtles may be involved. 0% recidivism rate. Redneck feminist. Now, the obvious problem we have here is that Amber Heard is probably like 95% guilty for abusing and beating Johnny Depp. So she's retweeting things like, you shouldn't beat people. That's wrong. People who beat people should be like eaten by snapping turtles and alligators. So this is a very, very hypocritical thing to tweet. And here is her tweet. Today is International Day to End Violence Against Women, kicking off 16 days of activism. Be a part of the generational equality and stand up to end rape culture. Obviously, we all want to stand up for these things, but the thing here, end violence against women, is kind of some advice she should take, because obviously everyone wants to end violence against women, but violence against people in general is terrible as well. Just like she kind of was violent towards Johnny Depp, cutting off his finger, taking a crap in his bed, and who knows what else. Those are the two main things, and honestly, just with those two things alone, that's all I really need to criticize this woman. And I'm sure there's a lot of details I'm going to be missing, but yeah, those two things right there alone do it for me. Again, there's nothing wrong with what she's saying in isolation, but who it's coming from makes her a hypocrite. I can't really see how that's wrong. Let's keep going. Let's make our voices heard and stop letting institutions who have long failed us to keep the status quo in silencing us. Stand with ACLU in this fight. The University of Illinois is stiffing NPR reporting on sexual misconduct, critics say. So, again, while I would never say sexual misconduct is a good thing, I would say, coming from Amber Heard, somebody who did the stuff she did isn't really in the place to play moral paladin, some kind of moral mentor for anybody. So all this kind of stuff she says seems like white knighting because she can't take her own example. She's violent. She's insultive. And from what I heard from my last video, from a lot of the testimonies, she's just not a very nice person to anybody, really. So in that one tweet, we heard about sexual misconduct. Now, there's a lot of different types of sexual misconduct, but I think I can accuse Amber Heard of one type of sexual misconduct. Because what the word misconduct means is using sexuality in the wrong way or in a unnatural, not a normal way. So if you guys know who Elon Musk is, if I'm saying that correctly, it's a tough name, Elon Musk, I'll show you in a second. What Amber Heard, I think, did was try to get with him for his money. I think she's the type of woman who tries to get with men for their money. So he is worth $44 billion. Now, I'm not sure why he was with her. That's on him. But the fact is, you could say using your sexuality to eventually suck money to someone is misconduct. In the meaning of the word, misconduct. You're not conducting your sexuality in the normal way you would, which is for a loving relationship. You're using it to get something from someone. So here he is right here. The spelling is E-L-O-N, Ellen, Ellen. I've been in Japan 15 years. His name's Mr. Musk. He's worth $44 billion. So maybe you guys know him. He's into science. He's an inventor. He's an entrepreneur. And I'm pretty sure that Amber Heard got with him for his money in the same way Paul McCartney's ex-wife used to work Hollywood, marry, divorce for money. That's probably what she did with Johnny. She's got a history. It's all too clear. Anyway, that's all for this one. I hope that I helped prove today that Amber Heard is among the many things we don't like about her, now a hypocrite. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. You guys, click that subscribe button. Click that subscribe button. I could say it properly if I try harder, and I will see you next time. I screw up the other videos too, like this one, but no one complains. It's all good. Yep, that's it.